What's cracking, YouTube? This is Chainlink1TN here, giving you another deck profile for you guys, because I noticed those seem to be my most popular videos, so figured I'd get you another one, and this time it's going to be Gimmick Puppets. And I actually really enjoy this deck. I've wanted this deck for the longest time, and I've had it for about like 3 months now, this deck, and I've changed it up all the time and whatnot, because with any deck I have, it's always constantly under construction. But this is currently how it is now, and let's get to it, shall we? I'm going to start off with the main deck. Opening up, we have the 3 Dreary Dolls, because that's a must-have. Anything less, and you're bad. You just stop playing this deck. It's super good because this card is basically can special summon itself from the graveyard if it's ever there by just banishing another Gimmick Puppet, and it's the basic power play. It's the basic combo piece for the entire deck, and that's why you have to run 3. After that, 3 Magnet Dolls, since this is like the Cyber Dragon of the deck, since you can just special summon it from your hand if your opponent controls a monster, and all the monsters you control are Gimmick Puppets, minimum 1. And it's an inherent summon too. After that, I've got 2 Scissor Arms. And some people run 3, some people run 1. I feel comfortable at 2 because it's the Foolish Burial of the deck. Summon this and send the Dreary Doll to your graveyard, and then proceed to play from there. So I only run 2 because, I mean, it's a level 4, and it doesn't like have, unless you can manage to change its level somehow, or if you have another level 4 on the field to go into rank 4s, it's not really that beneficial to have at 3, in my opinion, of course. And then for the one-ofs, I have 1 Humpty Dumpty, 1 Egghead, and 1 Gear Changer. These are the one-ofs. Humpty Dumpty I only run 1 of because, again, using up that normal summon, and it's got 0 attack and whatnot, and it can't always special summon it and shit. But it's really good in the fact that it can get a dead Gimmick Puppet in your hand that you can't really get rid of at the moment live, and putting it on the field. Like, say you open up with the Dreary Doll with no way to get rid of it, but you also open up with Humpty Dumpty, bam, right there. Special summon, normal summon Humpty Dumpty, special summon the Dreary Doll. And then Egghead, I like him because he has a discard effect, and he actually has 2, but of course you can only activate 1 per turn. And the first one is basically a cowboy, inflict 800 to your opponent, and the other one is to become a level 8 monster until the end phase, which is actually really good. Everyone usually uses it for the level 8 effect, but I mean, hey, if you're gonna go for game and all you need left is just 800 damage, bam, cowboy hit your opponent's ass right there. And then Gear Changer, I run 1 of him because even though its effect is simply to change its level to equal to that of another Gimmick Puppet, and he's also level attack is 100 and whatnot, the first effect that he has, which is why I only run 1 of, is he cannot be special from the front of the deck. And that kind of blows, because otherwise I'd run more of him if he could be. Because, for example, there would be 1-for-1 you could use it on, or machine duplication. But since you can't do that, it's only really mainly just run 1. And that's all the Gimmick Puppet monsters. The non-Gimmick Puppet monsters I have are 2 Gearspring Spirit. Some people don't like him. Some people do love him. I'm like in the middle. I only run 2 of because it is a little bit conditional and situational, in the sense that you're reliant on what your graveyard is looking like, and if this is the only monster in your hand with no ways to send any machine type monsters to the graveyard, it just sits there, unfortunately. But he also has a really good effect to make any of your opponent's beat sticks 0 attack until the end phase, which is really strong and pushes for OTKs as well. But that's why I only run 2. And after that, I run 2 Machina Cannons. Machina Machina, however you want to pronounce it. I pronounce it Machina, it sounds cooler. But I just run 2 because Because three would seem a little too cloggy, even though you can just discard self. But plus, I don't think I have a third one. He's actually the only machine I run in the deck at the current moment. Again, the deck's going to be under construction anyways, and I'm considering new options of running like Machine Fortress and Gear Frame as well. But for now, I'm just running these two guys, and because they're level 8s, and it's actually really easy to summon them. As long as you open up with another machine type monster in your hand, you're golden, and then there you go. And that's it for the monsters. Let's get into the spells. First, I run 3 Junk Puppet, because it's the Monster Reborn of the deck. You can only use one. You can only activate one per turn, but that's alright. It definitely sets up field presence and sets up your plays, and you can push for that game as well. After that, I got the 3 trade-ins. This is probably one of the most important cards in the deck, because this is your draw power right here. This is what's going to get those dead Gimmick Puppets in your hand to the graveyard while plussing by drawing 2 cards. And that's strong. It helps you thin out the deck, get what you need, and get what you need in the graveyard as well. It's very detrimental to have this card. After that, I run 2 Machine Duplications, and the reason why I only run 2 is because the only real monster that this can be used on in my build is Dreary Doll. Like, that's it. I would only run 1 because of that, but because I actually want to see it, I'll run 2. And the second one I would use for like discard fodder for any card effects that require me to discard a card. So, but yeah, that's why I run 2, so I can see it more often. After that, I've got 2 Rank Up Magic Ardent Chaos Forces. The reason why this card is really good in this deck is because all your rank ups are going from level 8 to level 9, 9 times out of 10. And it's really good because if you use this card on the level 5, a rank 5 or higher to summon another one, you get it back to your hand from the graveyard, and you can use, and the effect can only be used once per duel. So essentially, running 2 of these literally just means I'm running 3. It's really strong, and you can immediately use it again after that to go into like a rank 10 if you had it. After that, I run 2 Draw Muscle. Why this card is good? This card, basically, I'll read it to you actually before I explain it. Let's see if I can show you without this stupid glare that I haven't figured out how to get rid of. Target 1 defense position monster you control with 1,000 or less defense. Draw 1 card. Also, that monster cannot be destroyed by battle this turn. You can only activate 1 Draw Muscle per turn. Why that's good? Say you have to set up your field, but you don't have enough to set up, right? But you have just enough to be able to say that I have a Dreary Doll. Just enough resources to basically have a little foothold on your field so that your opponent can't completely blindside you or beat the shit out of you at that given moment. So say, for example, I have a Dreary Doll in graveyard. Special summon it, could say I have another Gimmick Puppet in the graveyard with it. Special summon it in defense. Set this card, and then on my opponent's turn, he's going to try to attack it. Flip this, draw a card, and it can't be destroyed by battle for the rest of the turn. They kind of have to look at it and say, well, I guess you're sticking around for the party. And then you got an extra draw out of it, and that's 1 card closer to getting the card you need to be able to make your play and possibly OTK at that point as well. And after that, I've got 2 MST. Floodgates are practically dead at this point, but in case they're still there, that's why I have 2 instead of 3. You know, just so I can have more cards and more options. After that, mostly the rest are 1-ups for spells. I've got 1 Quick Chaos, Rank Up Magic Quick Chaos, and it just is an extra rank up card, and also to promote OTKs in the deck, because it can be used during the battle phase since it's a quick play. After that, I've got 1 DDR, Different Dimension Reincarnation, and this is actually a card that has done so much for me. I'd actually would want to run 2 if I can get another one. But the great thing about this card is, say you have a Dreary Doll in graveyard, another a 1 in hand, and 1. Okay, here we go. You have 2 Dreary Dolls in your graveyard and 1 in hand. So we can I can actually show you the benefits. Banish 1 Dreary Doll to summon the other from the graveyard. And now you have one on the field and then one that's banished. And you have one in hand. Activate this card to discard the other Druid Doll in your hand and special summon the one that's banished. Bam! You now have a rank 8 because of it. Because this combos really well with Druid Doll. That's why I actually consider running it at 2, if I can find another one. And then I have one Burial from Different Dimension, so that I can keep reusing my Druid Dolls and whatnot, and keep on banishing the summon, and just basically keep the engine going. And then I have one Limiter Removal because it's all machines and promotes OTKs. One Foolish Burial because you kind of want your shit in the graveyard. And one Advanced Draw because sometimes if you're able to overextend a little bit and get an extra level 8 monster on your field while already having like rank 8s and stuff, and it's just gonna sit there and you don't have another monster to overlay on top of it to make another Xyz monster, just tribute it with this and draw 2 cards and get more cards that you need. So that's why I run that as well. And that's it for the spells, and now it's on to the traps. Starting off, I got 2 Marshalling Fields because this protects all Machine Xyz monsters and can fluctuate the levels of all level 5 or higher monsters, Machine type monsters, I control to become any level within 5 through 9. To be able to Xyz into anything from the ranks of 5 through 9. And it's really good. And if it's sent to from the field to the graveyard, I can add 1 rank up magic Ardent Chaos Force from my deck or graveyard to hand. So this basically means I have 5 rank up cards. It's really, really good. After that, I've got 2 Divine Wraths. I actually might change this to like Regeki Breaks or something of that matter as well. But monster negation is actually really strong, and it's a counter trap. That's also why I like it a lot. And there's not very much your opponent can do about counter traps unless they have one of them themselves. And sorry for the mixed match rarity. Sorry, man, I just can't speak today. But yeah, I'll find some that are of the same rarity because that's actually giving me OCD. And it's actually really good for the discard effect as well. And then the last card I have is one tech card that I like, High Five the Sky. I run this card in here just because I've actually won with this card. And it just, again, OTKs and whatnot. And that's all it really is to it. It's really fun when you use it. Alright, and that's it for the main deck. I have no side deck, so I'm just going to show you the extra deck then. Starting off, and it's going to be all out of order, just so you guys know. Starting off, I have one Disaster Leo, because he's a 35 beat stick and it's a win condition, and he cannot be targeted by card effects. That's already strong in itself. One Googly Eyes, because it can be a 4000 beater, and it requires 2 level 8 machine type monsters. So that's all pretty strong. One Galaxy Eyes Full Armor Photon Dragon, because if you don't want to go into Leo, you can always go into this, and you have a 4000 beater that can pop face-up cards on the field. And I got one Dyson Sphere, because I can go into it now with rank up magic, or not rank up, Marshalling Field, sorry. I can go into it with Marshalling Field, and then from there because I do run its rank up, I can also go into Chaos number 9, and then just proceed to use this card because this card's a pretty fucking beast. After that, I've got one. I know I've run more. 2 Giant Grinders, really strong card. It's spot removal, and it can burn if your opponent has Xyz monsters as well. Really strong card. That I got one Gigant X because it searches out any of the level 4 gimmick puppets that I have, and is also used to basically use up my dead level 4 gimmick puppets on the field. After that, I've got one Giant Hunter. Actually, no, I believe I have 2. Yes, I do have 2. 2 Giant Hunters because he's really fucking strong. Pops any card on the field, and if it's a monster, Inflict damage equal to its original attack. That's strong. That's really strong. After that, I have one Gimmick Puppet of Strings, because it's a 3K beater, and it's another Gimmick Puppet, basically. You kind of want to have at least one of every Gimmick Puppet Xyz monster in your extra deck. So, and of course, alongside with him, I've got his rank up form, the Gimmick Puppet of Dark Strings. This card's really good to combo with that, especially when you rank up into him after using the regular one's effect, because this will basically just nuke his monsters, all of them and whatnot, and burn him with damage equal to the highest monster's attack that was destroyed. That's really strong, and it's a 33 beater. After that, I've got one regular Leo, because it's another win condition. Then I have Coach Lord Ultimate Trainer, because you can rank this up from any of the rank 8s. It cannot be targeted by card effects, and if it has an Xyz material Xyz monster as a material, it gains the effect to draw a card, reveal it, and if it's a monster, inflict 800. That's really strong, and it's 3,800 attack. That's fucking dope. And then the last monster I have in here is one Zombie Stein, because it requires 2 level 8 dark monsters. It's a monster effect negator, and it's 4,500 attack. And most of the Gimmick Puppets, like 90% of them, are all dark attribute also. So it's just another way to say fuck your monsters and beat you over for really high attack. And that's all for the whole deck, for the whole deck profile. That's been my Gimmick Puppets. If you guys wanna comment your opinions and whatnot, basically give me some pointers and whatnot, because I mean, again, the deck's under construction. It's gonna undergo some changes, but yeah, just let me know what you guys think about it. Just like, comment your opinions. Please like, comment, subscribe, share the video. Sharing's caring. And yeah, just like I said, message me. So let me know what you think. What changes would you make? How would you run it? Alright, this is Chainlink1TN. Y'all have a wonderful night, YouTube. Deuces.